Good morning and welcome to your session today on how to kickstart your career in the media and TV industry with our special guest star, Scott Campbell. My name is Katie. I am your host for today. I'm just going to introduce a few people that are in the room with us. So, Scott, would you like to go first?
Yeah, sure. I've never been introduced as a guest star before, but I'll take that. So my name's Scott Campbell. I used to go to Birmingham City University. I used to go to University of Central England before it changed name all those years ago. So that became Birmingham City University. And then I've gone on to have a career for 12 years at ITV, which I thoroughly enjoy. And I just want to sort of talk to you today about how I got into this career, how the university helped me, and what kind of work experience opportunities I used to help kickstart that career. So that's what I'm here for today.
Great, thank you. And we're also joined by Frankie.
Thanks. So I'm Frankie Galati, and I'm the Mentoring Programme Officer at BCU. So that's it within the Central Careers team. And I'm going to be following on from Scott's talk today to talk about work experience and how we can help you build your CV and your skill set.
So, Scott, can you tell us about how you first became interested in a career in media and how you researched the steps to get into the industry?
Yeah, I think I've always had an interest actually in getting into television in particular, but the media as a whole, it's a great, massive place, and there's a lot of people move around between radio, television, newspapers, and I thought, I'm not entirely sure what area I want to go to, but I knew from the start that that's something I was really interested in. I remember years ago, actually, we was on holiday and we used to play this game, me and my family, where we used to spot people and sort of say, who does that look like? Is that a celebrity or someone? And we always used to rank each other points as to how close we thought they looked like it. And I remember someone walked past and it looked like a couple from EastEnders. And I remember, I think it was my dad, actually, my stepdad, who had pointed them out. And I was like, no, absolutely, it's definitely not them. And it turned out to be them. So as a young boy, I ran after them down the seafront harbour with my camera saying, can I have a photograph? And I remember we sat in a bar with them later that night and just had a chat. I was only a young kid, but my parents were there. And it was just, I remember sitting there thinking, I want to work in this job. I know they're actors and it's not necessarily the route that I wanted to, but, you think of other roles, whereas cameramen, sound operators, all these different roles. And I was just trying to use them as a way of getting information. What can I do? What should I be doing now at this age? Should I be doing things at school? Should I be looking for work experience or university? And I think from that moment on, I realised that that's really what I wanted to do. It sounded like an exciting opportunity, and I saw people looking at them in the bar, and I thought, I like the fact that it's an exciting industry to work in. So I did a lot of research. I've talked that much, Kate, I can't remember what the question was, but I did a lot of research into sort of thinking, well, what should I do now? So I've looked at different universities, and I'm from Birmingham, so I saw that Birmingham City University offered a media and communication course, and I thought, that's an interesting one. So I looked into that and eventually ended up going onto that course.
Great, thank you. You mentioned about work experience, Jess. So how did you first get work experience in the media when you were at school? So how did you find those opportunities and how did you apply for those things?
I think, it's a long time ago now, but I remember that. I remember getting the work experience, and I remember telling my teachers that, what I'd managed to do was get a work experience at Birmingham. It was actually the old Pebble Mill, but it was BBC WM radio and BRMB, which is now Free Radio. So we had 2 weeks work experience that we had to get, and I managed to get a week at both of them. And I remember one of my friends, he was working in a library for his 2 weeks. He'd left it so late that he had no other option, and he wasn't happy. He was never going to be a librarian, but he was just doing it for the sake of it. But I thought I wanted to use this opportunity to sort of make the most of, I guess, getting into the industry and seeing what it's about, having a taster of it. And I can't remember what I actually did, but I remember writing personal letters to both of the companies. And I guess I just just not being afraid to sort of ask them for the work experience. And fortunately enough, I got placements at both of them. And, again, from an early age, I was only 16 at the time. And I thought, this is definitely the industry I want to be in. Again, not sure if it's radio, but I know that this is the area of work that I wanted to work into. So I think just be personal and don't be afraid to write letters or emails or whatever you have to do to get your opportunities.
So you would say the benefits of doing work experience before starting university, what would you say? How did work experience help you before you went to university, I'd say?
I think from a skill set point of view, probably not a lot, but the fact that you can start putting these things on your CV, and it shows then to universities or employers that you have a genuine interest in this, and it's not just a case of I'd like to do that. You have done something about it, you know, and you're actively trying to get into that industry, whether it's work experience or, you know, whether you're volunteering or whatever it is. So I think it just gives it just gives you a chance to put something on your CV rather than just saying I have an interest in that. But when you're asked what have you done about it, nothing. So that's what I think really helped me get into the university in the first place as well. Okay.
And so you did the media and communications degree, didn't you, with us? How did you decide it was going to be the course that was going to help you with your career?
I don't know if you remember a guy, Adrian Giles. He used to present on BBC and ITV, actually. And I became quite good friends with him later on once I started working at ITV. But I emailed Adrian Giles. I didn't know him at the time, but I managed to work out what his email address might have been through the BBC. And I contacted him, and the phone rang one day in my living room, and my mum answered the phone. She said, "It's Adrian on the phone." And I thought, who's Adrian? You know, I don't know an Adrian. And I answered the phone. It was Adrian Giles phoning me, and I thought instantly, what a great guy for getting back to me of all the requests and messages he probably gets. But I was talking to him about what I should do, and he says to me, "Go to university, get a degree. Don't worry about what your degree's in. Do something that you're interested in doing. You know, if you want to do it." I remember he said to me, "If you want to do a degree in surfing, go and do that. You know, if that's what you're interested in." Because it's not just necessarily about the things that you learn on the course, but it shows that you've got certain skills and determination to sort of, you know, succeed and overcome challenges. And I think that's the importance of the degree. But obviously I had the interest in the media, so I thought it makes sense for me to do that from the off. So I looked around the country at different universities. I remember, I think it was Gloucester or Cheltenham was one in particular I was kind of interested in, but I didn't really have the ambition to leave home. I thought if I can do it in a way where I'm quite close to my family, and we wanted to, you know, I didn't really want to move. So I looked at Birmingham City University. The course reviews that I saw and any kind of feedback that I could find online was very, very positive. And I thought I've potentially got one of the best media courses right on my doorstep. So why would I move away when it's literally, you know, 3 miles up the road from where I live? So that's kind of what encouraged me to go onto this course.
Brilliant. So what opportunities did you get whilst on the degree that helped you get your first job?
I think, I mean, obviously, not necessarily opportunities, but you obviously pick up skills and you're doing loads of different modules. So you're learning about a lot of different things. But one thing that I did know, and I wasn't interested actually in the first 2 years, but our course offered, they had an agreement with Sky in London. So each year they would pick 3 students from any year, whether it's first, second or third year students. And 3 people would go to Sky to work for, I can't remember how long it was either 2 weeks or a month. And I remember one of the girls got offered a job for when she'd finished university. And this was when I was in my second year. And I thought, right, okay, I've got one more opportunity to apply for this Sky role. And in my third year, I did that. And the reason I did that was not necessarily because I was desperate to go and work at Sky for 2 weeks, but I thought that's going to look really good on my CV when I'm start looking for a job within the next few months after that. And I thought, you know, there might be an opportunity for me to work at Sky. I might meet contacts there that could put me in touch with the right people. And, you know, and then when not long after I'd finished the university degree, I'd applied for a job at ITV in the sports team. And just coincidentally, it was good because all the guys who work at ITV had a really good relationship with the guys at Sky. So after my interview, you know, my boss at the time then said that he contacted Sky to ask about me, how I performed on that course, on the scholarships scheme. And you know, I think that's probably really helped me get the job at ITV, which started my career. So I would just say take any opportunity that's there, and if the university have these arrangements in place, or if there's any contacts that you can use, then use them to your advantage. You know, it's worked really well for me.
Brilliant, thank you. And that kind of feeds on to the next bit. It's like the importance of building and maintaining network of contacts, should I say. How important were they to you when you started out in your career and progressing it? And if you've got any tips for people starting from scratch, how they network and build contacts?
Yeah, I think for me, contacts are the most important thing, and I do everything I can to make sure that, you know, I'm constantly building a network of useful contacts. And I think you don't have to be, it doesn't necessarily have to be on a professional basis. You know, it can be, a lot of people in this industry have become my friends over time, you know, or I claim them to be friends, although they are sort of professional friends. But, you know, it's kind of like just networking is great from that point of view. And I sort of hate the term networking because I get invited to a lot of different events and networking events. And I always think, well, what am I supposed to be networking about? You know.